Phang Nga Bay, nestled between Phuket and Krabi in southern Thailand, is a place you must visit at least once in your life. But if you were to visit the bay 1,000 times, every time would look different. It's all about the light. The seasons and the sunshine will filter the light in a million variations, and that's just the light you can see between sunrise and sunset. Once the sun goes down, there's a whole new light show, but only for the lucky few who venture out to find it, the natural wonder of bioluminescence. 5-Star Marine will take you to experience, up close and personal, bioluminescence on Phang Nga Bay. As far as tours into Phang Nga Bay go, this is one you should put on your calendar. It was 5-Star Marine that came up with the idea, specifically tour guide Alex. Apart from experiencing the natural phenomenon of bioluminescence, you get to canoe through some of the archipelago's hidden lagoons and caves. A quick stop at James Bond Island, eat fresh seafood and other Thai dishes at a floating village, and enjoy the sunset over one of the most beautiful nautical landscapes in the world. This very special tour offers a spectacular afternoon and early evening on the water, so a later start than most of the Phang Nga tours, and you'll be arriving back in the dark. Tour guide Alex and the 5-Star crew have the itinerary planned around the tides and weather to maximise your experience, but it's your private tour, so if you want to drop in on a beach or island along the way, they're usually happy to fit this in as well. We'll get to the star of the show a bit later and find out exactly how nature puts on this magical natural light show. But first on to Phang Nga Bay, which always looks amazing from just about every angle. The bay covers an area of about 400 square kilometres and is home to over 40 islands in all shapes and sizes, some with stunning beaches, others with hidden lagoons, caves and towering natural gardens. From the home port at Boat Lagoon on Phuket, we first head to Koh Phangan and its caves, complete with local bats hanging from the ceilings in their very own bat cave. Your guides will paddle you through these caves. All you have to do is enjoy the experience. We'll even give you a torch. As we paddle, we emerge into a peaceful central lagoon where macaque monkeys live their own private jungle island paradise. All the islands have their own unique geography and natural features, with the local marine national parks carefully managing any substantial impact from the tours and tourists. Apart from keeping you safe during your visit, the 5-Star Marine crews are also locals and proud to explain more about each location and the features of each island. Koh Phangan hides the Kai Lagoon, but this time we travel by foot through the small cave where we emerge into an even larger natural lagoon, complete with its own beach. The walls of the hidden lagoon soar into the sky, protecting the local flora and fauna. You can't help but be overwhelmed by the tranquility and peace here. Even with other visitors, everyone appreciates the peace, quiet and natural beauty of Kai Lagoon. The bioluminescence part of the tour is still ahead, but we have to wait until dark so we can really appreciate it. So we've still got a lot of Phang Nga Bay to explore. And just about everyone will visit James Bond Island, locally called Koh Tapu. So if you are floating around Phang Nga Bay, eventually you're going to come here. This is James Bond Island, named because, well, they shot the James Bond movie in 1974 called Man with a Golden Gun. Not one of the best James Bond movies, but there's a few ways you can see it. You can actually go onto that island behind where everybody else does, or with 5-Star Marine you'll get to stop on the other side and you won't have anybody in your way to take that shot. Today we took the path less travelled and were able to get a view from the mostly unseen side of James Bond Island. It was now heading towards sunset across Phang Nga Bay and time to address the important matter of dinner. And there's nowhere better than the man-made, partly floating village of Koh Phangan. Not surprisingly, fishing is the main game here, along with feeding hungry tour groups as they meander around the bay. The island's home to around 360 families, mostly descended from Javanese fishermen during the 18th century, certainly a long way from home. The structures are all built on stilts to cope with the tides and the ravages of the annual wet season. With our delicious dinner out of the way, I had one of the tastiest massaman curries I've ever eaten in Thailand. I asked our 5-star Marine super guide Alex about where we'll be going to experience the natural phenomenon of bioluminescence.
We're about to go Hong Island. I think Hong Island always nice. They're really like sheltered.
Right.
So when we go inside, the water always nice and calm.
So it needs to be calm.
Yeah, need to be calm. A bit dark is nice.
Right.
And also the water is not too low.
Okay.
So if you got 3 different things in one spot, always best.
So what exactly is the bioluminescence? It's the ability of tiny marine animals to produce and emit light. They will emit this light when disturbed, sometimes white, sometimes green or blue, creating a glow in the water when anything else comes into contact with them. This phenomenon occurs due to a completely natural chemical reaction within the plankton that produce the glow as a byproduct. The tour takes you to the safety and darkness of caves to get the best bioluminescence experience. Back to your 5-star boat and a trip to where we started, zooming through Phang Nga Bay at night. 5-star Marine operate the Bioluminescence Tour every day of the year. It usually heads out in the early afternoon and returns to the Boat Lagoon Pier between 8 to 9 p.m. Go to 5starmarinephuket.com for more tour and contact details.